What is up, all you minties? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition. And today I'm going to be talking about why I decided to upgrade to the latest printing of the new Teen Titans Omnibus collections. And as you can tell from right now, I already had the original printing of the Omnis, as well as had the rest of the series custom bound. So, let's get started. Now, before we start comparing the original printing of these Omnis to the new printings, I did want to say that we're going to also be talking about these custom bound books. Now, I realize there's other type of custom bound books out there, but we can't talk about those. Today, we're just focusing on the ones that you send out to get bound at a bindery. And since we're focusing on these are the ones that I bought off of Kurt Kiefer. These were made from actual comic books, like from the actual comics that he bought, and taking out all the ads, or as many ads as you can. I know some people love all the ads, taking out the back page and sending them to a bindery. I used to use the Houchin bindery when I used to have time to make these custom books. And the reason I got these is because, well, I'm sure I'll get there, but this is the culprit right here, volume 3. So let's do some comparisons here. Here we have the new printing versus the original printing, and I don't think you can tell, but the original printing is just a little bit taller than the new printing. You can probably tell the original printing has a flat spine, the new printing has a curved spine, meaning that the new printing will stay opened, while the original printing, even though I've read this twice already, is what we call a damn mousetrap. It just wants to shut on you because there is no curve on the spine. And yeah, so if you, even in the middle of the pages, sometimes you have to struggle to keep it open. That was like the build of these original Omnis from DC. Of course, the other thing that's going to be different is the original printing has this under the dust jacket. Of course, you have embossed words, New Teen Titans, on the spine and on the front. And the newer printings have a very similar emboss wording on the front and on the spine. It's pretty cool. So what about content? They both have the same thing. They both contain the first 20 issues of the New Teen Titans, the 4-issue Tales of the New Teen Titans miniseries, and the DC Comics Presents issue 20. The only biggest difference, of course, besides the build of the books, is of course the dust jackets and the spines. Spines, of course, I actually like the designs of the spines. They have comic book pages here that have a blue tone on the spines. I thought that was a pretty cool gimmick if they had, kept going with it. So the newer printings on the spine have New Teen Titans Omnibus Volume 1, Volume 2, the DC logo at the bottom, the characters here, and I'm not too keen on this. I don't like this. This background, it looks like what they were trying to do before, but it looks pixelated, so I don't know. I'm not a fan of the new design. But I do like the new covers, though. I think they look really good and sharp and stand out a lot more than the original covers, which is just the characters on white. I think this, with that background, looks a lot better. And one of the things I'm sure some of you are wondering, because I have made this statement many times on my channel, is, Omar, why are you getting New Teen Titans? This happens before Crisis on Infinite Earths. I have a really soft spot in my heart for this team. This is the stuff that even as a kid, I made an exception to go before Crisis on Infinite Earths and pick up ever since their debut. Not the Silver Age stuff, but their New Teen Titans run, the Wolfman and Perez run. That was the stuff that I was reading alongside of Uncanny X-Men, and it was just so damn good that I had to make an exception. So that's why I have all these, right? Even though it's pre-Crisis on Infinite Earths, I do make exceptions. The price is, of course, going to be a little bit different. The new printing is $99.99. The original printing is $75. However, when talking about Volume 2, the new printing is $75, and the old printing is $75. Now, this is where they start getting different. And by that, I mean the content is different in both volumes. So let's talk about the new printing. Actually, no, let's talk about this old printing. So the old printing, all the content's back here. It has issues 21 through 37, skipping issue 38, and then going to 39 and 44, and then the first 3 annuals, and then the crossover special with Batman and the Outsiders. So, issue 38, okay, whatever. So the new printing is issues 21 through 41, the first 2 annuals, and then the Batman and Outsiders Volume 5. So the reason they skipped issue 38, that begins the whole Who is Donna Troy, and at the time, Volume 3 of the Omnibus was not solicited. So we were like, well, is it going to be orphaned, or are they going to go back and do a Donna Troy omnibus? What's going on? And then we got the solicitation of Volume 3. So as you can tell, the new printing is more complete. It has everything. You're not missing any single issues. The binding is better, even though the binding is a little bit better by the time we get to Volume 2, because we actually have an eye in the original printing, that is. I still prefer this. The original printings also have heavier glossy paper. Probably adds to the weight when you're trying to keep it open. So let's talk about the volume that broke the camel's back, if you will. This is volume 3 of the original printing. Now let's look at this ridiculous mapping first. So it collects issues 38, so awesome, yes, we finally got it. Then 45 through 50 of the original series, and then issues 1 through 6 of the second incarnation. Going back to New Teen Titans, or New Titans rather, issues 50 through 61 and 66 through 67, as well as Secret Origins Annual number 3. So what does that mean? This contains about 3 years worth of work. Actually, probably a little more than that. Because what they were doing is they were just trying to make a Marv Wolfman and George Perez omnibus. And they did the most ridiculous thing in this. So there's a crossover with Batman. I think it's Batman 440 to 442. It's a crossover introducing the character of Tim Drake. This was after the events of Death in the Family, where Jason Todd gets, well, something happens to Jason Todd and he is no longer Robin. Right? Spoilers. And in this, it's the aftermath of that. Lonely Place of Dying was a crossover with Batman. There were 2 issues of New Teen Titans, and then there were issues of Batman. All 3 issues of Batman are missing from here. So you just get parts 2 and 4. What? Why would you do that, DC? That doesn't make any sense. Yes, I realize that there are trade paperbacks available of Lonely Place of Dying, and out-of-print hardcover. But, man, just how could I not pick this up, right? George Perez, the master, at some of his best. But yeah, that was the reason why I was like, oh no, this is not gonna work. And then sales of this didn't do as well because big gaps. You have huge gaps of orphaned issues because they were not drawn by George Perez. So that's when I decided to talk to my buddy Kirk Kiefer. Kirk was a guy from Kentucky, lived about an hour away from me, and I knew that he himself had done a project with the Teen Titans because he was just frustrated with the collected editions department at DC. So what he did was what most of us that do custom bound, or, well, me, I don't have the time anymore because I'm busy reading and making videos because I love y'all. But what most of us did was buy single issues of comic books we wanted to get custom bound and put them together. You know, he designed the front, the spine, the back, to kind of mimic, actually. He did a really good job. He mimicked the spines of those first 3. And then decided to collect the entire run leading up to Teen Titans. And then I decided to do my own stuff. So I've got like the Jurgen stuff, but I'll show that off another day. I just wanted to talk about these. And that's mainly why I reached out to him. And then when I found out I was going to get him to do this for me, I was like, man, I'll buy the single issues. I don't have the time to put them together anymore. I've done some in the past, like my Excalibur set, my Outsiders, and my post Jeff Johns Teen Titans Omnis. And if y'all want me to show those off, I'll be happy to. But I just I reached out to him, and he was telling me he was thinking about moving to Japan. I texted him and I said, okay, dibs on your New Teen Titans if that's what you're thinking, because he was talking about how he can't take everything with him to Japan. And yeah, sure enough, we worked out a deal. I bought these from him, and this is the way that I ended up reading them. So the reason I upgraded, of course, is also, while I have a lot of fondness, because this is like literally like picking up an issue from your long box, taking it out of its bag and board, and reading it, right? Because you have all the ads in here, and luckily in the mid 80s they started putting the late 80s they started putting the ads at the end. So, you know, he did a really good job. There's still ads in there, of course, but for the most part it's just art and story. I mean, you can't get away from getting the ads from the back of this, right? So, yeah, these are phenomenal. I will probably never get rid of these, even though I know they're continuing. We have a volume 5 coming out of the newer printings of these right here. But these are just gorgeous. I seriously doubt we're going to make it to Teen Titans. We even did the Teen Titans Spotlight. And I think one of these has the Dark Phoenix or the X-Men Teen Titans. This one here. The Uncanny X-Men and New Teen Titans. Because unless we actually have a DC Marvel Omnibus one day, that will probably never be reprinted. So we did it he mapped it out in the order that he thought it was best. And I agree with his mapping. His mapping has always been awesome. So this is a rare case where I don't think it's called double dipping, but both of these are volume 3s. And the reason I decided to keep this volume 3 is because this right here has all those missing issues that were left out of the DC Legit Omnibus. So this collects like issue 38 and going in chronological order instead of skipping issues and then leading directly into volume 4. So how could I not keep another volume? See, and if DC continues, we're going to be getting some Tom Grumet. Like, Marv Wolfman stuck with the title for long after George Perez left. But who would not love to see Tom Grumet oversized artwork? That would be phenomenal. There's the Mystery of Terra. Oh, man, I hope they continue that series. Look at those ads, of course, house ads. So, I mean, this is pretty cool, right? Because you do get to open it up and you see, oh, yeah, I remember going to see Candyman when it came out. Hell, no kid could say Candyman 3 times after watching that damn movie. But anyway, that's the cool thing about having these in custom bound form. But you all know I love oversized artwork, right? Nice, beautiful, white, glossy paper. I don't know, to me the art really stands out a lot more on this, and the pages aren't starting to yellow, and it's not this comic book newsprint paper that we used to have back in the 80s and 90s. So that is my long-winded justification why I decided to get these books, or what some of y'all would like to call my comparing the original printings to the new printings of New Teen Titans. And I know currently both of these are running low in stock. And some of my subscribers have told me after my haul video that they don't even see volume 1 anymore, that it could be out of print. And for me, it's really difficult to check that nowadays. Because it used to be I could just go to Diamond, see it's out of print, and it is out of print at Diamond. But I don't know if Lunar has any copies, nor do I know that Midtown Comics doesn't have any copies, because now they're using 3 different distributors. And that is one of the problems with using 3 different distributors. It makes it difficult to keep tabs on what is currently out of print and what is in print. Now, if you're looking for the latest printings of these books, check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off the cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. And check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. And for you Minties, Cheap Graphic Novels is running a special promotion. If you're a first-time customer, let them know you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was it. That's why I decided to upgrade. It might be silly, but I have a little faith, especially now with, like I said, that Volume 5 coming out, that we might get, maybe not all the way to Teen Titans, but at least most of the stuff that I have already custom bound. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, leave those comments down below. Ring that bell for notifications to let you know when our videos are going live. And more importantly, please everybody stay healthy, stay safe out there, and much love to all of you.